Hey, what is up, y'all? Today we are back with another video. Today we have NFL predictions week 11, which is crazy to say. Season has flown by, and now we have this edition of NFL predictions for Thursday. No, I was not the best last week. I'm not sure what my record was, but all I can say is I was not the best. But this week we have Thursday Night Football, and it's the Jets and Patriots. I wonder who's gonna win that game. The Patriots are gonna beat the Jets. They won 2 games in a row first against my Bengals, and second last week against the Browns. They only won that game against Cleveland because they had 2 kick return touchdowns, but I do not think they're going to get that many against New England. And it's hard to win football games when your quarterback completes only 5 passes a game. So I think New England will blow them out. New England shut a lot of people up last week, beating Tampa, their first solid win of the season. So I think it'll be easy work. Patriots win 31-10. Now, for the Spain game, I thought you were supposed to get fans in Spain, not make them especially stay with soccer. What are you thinking with this game? Commanders and Dolphins? I guess it would be fine if JD5 was playing, but even then, it would still be a bad game. Commanders and Dolphins. Commanders are having Marcus Mariota. I don't think he played terrible last week. He's not a bad backup. And the Dolphins surprisingly destroyed the Bills. I still don't have faith in them, though, yet, because, their start of the season. And the Commanders, they haven't been much better either, but I think the Commanders will beat the Dolphins in Spain, just because I believe more in that quarterback. I have no faith in either one of those defenses. I have no faith in, really, that's it. Yeah, the Commanders are going to beat the Dolphins with a score of 24-20. Now for the 1 o'clock games. We have the Panthers and the Falcons. Falcons almost beat Indianapolis in Germany last week, which is surprising. They're not a bad team, but, man, they need to play better when the lights are bright. And the Panthers got upset by the Saints, which is not great, which is really bad, actually, because the Saints are not that good of a team. But I think Carolina will beat Atlanta, even in Atlanta, simply because I feel like that defense is going to cause some issues. They can stop Bijan and guard Drake London decently. That's going to be an issue for Atlanta. And Carolina, just run the ball with Rico Dowdle this game. Falcons do not have a good run defense. Rico Dowdle's been pretty good, so I'd hand it off to him. I think Panthers win 20-17. Now for the Bucks and Bills. Buffalo got upset by Miami last week. That is not good, especially how tight these conferences are. And Tampa just lost the close game to New England last week, which is a really good team. I'm not really concerned for either one of these teams yet. Buffalo is always at that point in a season. Oh, is Buffalo frauds? They're not. and Tampa is okay, is good, but I think this is the Bills get right game. I think they'd win with a score of 31-27 in a great game. Next, we have the Texans and we have the Titans. I was right about the Texans last week beating Jacksonville. I thought it would be a little more defensive, but that was a great game. Great comeback. I told you Davis Mills would still beat Jacksonville, and I was right. And Tennessee, coming off of the bye, I still have no faith in them. They're still the Tennessee Titans. I feel bad for Cam Ward. He literally is put in you could not have been put in a worse team to start your NFL career. Even the 2023 Panthers for Bryce Young would not have worked well. So I think the Texans will cruise past the Titans 30-10. Then we have the Bears and Vikings in a crucial NFC North game. This division is really tight, surprisingly. Bears barely beat the G-Men, and the Vikings got beat pretty badly by Baltimore last week. The Bears have not beaten any good teams yet, which is really concerning. The Vikings have beaten some good teams. I've beaten one good team. It's just we need to see that same Vikings team every single week, which is very concerning. But I think the Vikings will get the season sweep on the Bears, beating Chicago with a score of 27-21. Then we have Green Bay versus the Giants. The Giants have officially started Jameis Winston because Jackson Dart's out with a concussion, and they benched Russ, which I think was the right decision. And Green Bay has looked bad the past 2 weeks. They couldn't get anything going against Carolina or Philly on offense. Their defense has been good those games. It's just, I don't think their offense has been pitiful. And I think the Giants, with Jameis Winston bringing a little spark, will make this game very more competitive than you would think. But I think Green Bay will survive the Giants with a score of 28-24. Jameis throws a game-losing interception to seal it. Then we have my Bengals against the Steelers, hoping to complete the season sweep. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Potentially. I'm not sure. I do think an upset could happen here. Pittsburgh has not looked the best. They got embarrassed in national television against the Chargers. And Cincinnati cannot stop anyone. They wouldn't be able to stop Stevie Wonder. Okay, they would not be able to stop him from scoring a touchdown. That's how bad our defense is. And that's an issue. It's going to be a very offensive scoring game. But I think the Bengals will beat Pittsburgh with a score of 43-40. Now we have the Chargers and Jacksonville. Chargers beat Pittsburgh pretty badly. Their offense did not have a good game, but their defense played incredible. And Jacksonville just lost to Davis Mills, and the Texans blowing a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter. I'm telling you, Jacksonville are frauds now. I was telling you that all season. And I think the Chargers should cruise past Jacksonville with a score of 23-17. Now we have the game of the week. We have the Seahawks. We have the Rams. The two best teams in the league playing for a very impactful division game. That's probably going to be the NFC Championship game right here. It's going to be crazy. Two identical teams. Two incredible defenses. Two incredible offenses play each other. But right now, I think the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks simply because Matthew Stafford is playing like an MVP. Over 2,000 yards so far. 25 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's playing phenomenal. Sam Darnold, he's playing incredible as well. I'm not going to lie. But I think the Rams will beat Seattle with the score of 35-31. Now for the upset of the week, we have the San Francisco 49ers against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I think Arizona could beat San Fran simply because San Fran has not looked good in recent weeks. They're injured. The injuries are starting to catch up to them. And the Cardinals, despite, if we ignore last game against Seattle, one of the best teams in the league, the team's playing way better with Jacoby Brissett than with Kyler Murray. So I think it's going to be different than when they played each other in like week 3 or 4. So I think the Cardinals are going to beat the Niners with a score of 21-17. And we have the Ravens and the Browns. The Browns lost to the Jets because of they couldn't stop their special teams unit. And the Ravens have won 4 straight, I believe. Let me check. They've won 3 straight games. Going to extend it to 4 against Cleveland with a score of 35-14. The Ravens have just played incredible. They've gotten that spark with Lamar back. Then we have the Chiefs and Broncos. The Chiefs coming off of a bye after a loss to Buffalo. And Broncos after one of the worst Thursday night games I've ever seen last week against the Raiders. I don't really believe in either one of these teams, but I think Kansas City will beat Denver simply because I believe their offense more, and Bo Nix can't get things done in meaningful moments. So I think Kansas City will unfortunately beat the Broncos with a score of 17-14. Now, for the Sunday night game, there's the Lions and the Eagles. Now, the Lions have played really good. They've had some bad losses, but when they're on, they're on. And the Eagles won in a nail-biter against Green Bay in a bad Monday night game as well. I think Detroit's going to beat Philly this week because I believe Detroit's offense a lot more than Philly's. Philly's offense has looked pitiful this year. And Detroit has not missed a beat since Ben Johnson has left. So I think the Lions are going to beat the Eagles with a score of 28-20. Now for the Monday night game nobody asked for. We have the Cowboys and the Raiders. The Raiders lost against Denver last week in that terrible Thursday night game. And Dallas is starting to go off the deep end. They're not playing good. So I think it's going to be an interesting game to see how bad both teams play. But I think I think the Raiders will beat Dallas simply because I expect a big day out of Ashton Jeanty against that Cowboys defense. So I think the Raiders will win with a score of 21-17. The teams on a bye this week are the Colts and Saints. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weeks. Hope you guys enjoy. See y'all next time. Peace.